Alright, we're starting now, and I'm here, Tommy Ito. You know, your usual guest and host. It is my channel. We are. It's my channel. Ego. I'm here with Manager Son. He joins me for some things, but today he's actually a manager. He's middle manager Tonigawa, as usual.
As always.
He's middle manager and middle age. Just like me, just like everyone else.
Hag love.
Hag love. This is a Hag love channel. Anyways, Manager Son, why did you select Sonic.EXE?
Not only is it a classic, but you get to enjoy the soothing sounds of Sonic.EXE. It's such a good copy. Not a copy, but a creepypasta that you can just enjoy anytime.
Remember, it was highly rated. There was video games made after it. There's a whole fandom. People still post Sonic.EXE on Twitter to this day.
You can even get to plushies. It's just grateful that the fandom can go so far.
They really do love it. So the order, do you want to start first or should I start first, Manager Son? You are Manager Son.
As always, I'll start it off and we'll go from there.
Got it. Now, he said that's always because of past recordings. That's the real reason. Okay.
We gotta make it sound and equally be as well for the audience, right?
Alright, but I told three paragraphs because there's that bit, you know, that I want to do. Okay. Go ahead, Manager Son. Start it off.
So we're gonna start with the classic Sonic.EXE creepypasta story. I'm a total Sonic the Hedgehog fan, like much everyone else. I like the newer games, but I don't mind playing the classics. I don't think I'd ever played glitchy or hacked games before. Though I don't think I want to play any after the experience I had. I started on a nice summer afternoon. I was playing Sonic Unleashed. I liked how you get to explore towns in it, until I noticed, out of the peripheral vision, that the mailman had arrived and put something in my mailbox, as usual, and left. I paused my game to go see what I got in the mail. The only thing in the mailbox was a CD case for computers. And I noticed, and a note. I took it inside. I looked at the note first and realized it was from my dear friend Kyle. Let's just call him that. Whom I haven't heard from in 2 weeks. I don't know. I know that because I recognized his handwriting. Though what was weird is how it looked. It looked badly written and scratchy and somewhat difficult to read. As if Kyle was having a hard time writing it down and did it in a hurry.
Thanks, Detective Son. He knew it was his friend's handwriting.
Yeah, he looked at that handwriting, he's like, yep, that's Kyle.
I'm a Sonic the Hedgehog fan like everyone else. I know I keep bringing it up, but it's line.
Bro, everyone's a Sonic the Hedgehog fan. Come on.
And don't worry, he'll remind you of that fact like 5 billion more times throughout the story.
Bro is committed.
Anyways, this is what he wrote. Advertisements. Okay. I had to get that bit out. I haven't saved. It'll pop up. Don't worry. You guys will see it in the video.
I'm glad you kept that in.
Tom! Oh my gosh, it's addressed to me, guys. I can't take it anymore. I had to get rid of this thing somehow before it's too late. And I was hoping you'd do it for me. I can't do it. He's after me. And if you don't destroy the CD, he'll come for you too. He's too fast for me. You're too slow.
You gotta be quicker than that.
Gots to go fast. Sonic got him. Please, Tom, destroy this godforsaken disc before he comes after you too. It's too late for me. Destroy this disc, and you'll destroy him. But do it quick, otherwise he'll catch you. Don't even play the game. It's what he wants. Just destroy it. Please. Kyle. He's too fast. Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't play this game.
What? Nah, we should totally play the game. I'll have it in the back. I'll have it in the background. I'll have like a playthrough on playing for the audience. That's like Sonic.
You're so right.
As Sonic.EXE just like claims my soul. Afterwards, to my channel, it's me with hyper realistic blood pouring out of my eyes and all that.
Well, that was certainly weird. Even though Kyle is my best friend. And I haven't seen him in 2 weeks. I didn't do what he asked me. I didn't think that a simple gaming disc would do anything bad to him. After all, it's just a game, right? Boy, was I wrong about that. Anyway, I looked at the disc, and it looked like any ordinary computer's CDR disc, except it had black marker on it written Sonic.EXE. Name drop.
Oh, whoa, title drop. Yippee! We got to it, bros. Sonic?
It was
Oh, go ahead.
Sonic?
Sonic.EXE.
It was much unlike Kyle's handwriting, meaning that he must have gotten it from someone else, like a pawn shop or eBay. When I was Sonic,
With Sonic?
when I saw Sonic on the writing of the CD, I was actually excited. I wanted to play it since I'm a big Sonic fan.
You don't say, bro. Like, oh, I didn't know that. Not from the first
Brother.
sentence of the story.
There's no way I'm a Sonic fan.
But
I went up to my room and turned on my computer and put the disc in and installed the game. When the title screen popped up, I noticed that it was the first Sonic game. I was like, awesome! Because like I said earlier, I like the classics. The first thing I noticed was that was out of place was when I pressed start. There was a split second. And then I noticed the title image turned into something much different. Something that I consider horrifying before cutting to black.
I remember what. Oh, sorry. I can't match your energy. I remember what the image looked like in that split second before the game cut to black. The sky had darkened, the title emblem was rusted and ruined. The Sega 1991 was now Sega 666. And the water had turned red, like blood, except it looked hyper-realistic. I like that term, hyper-realistic. It's such a crutch. It's a crutch in every creepypasta story that they go like, hyper-realistic blood.
Bro saw real blood at that moment.
Like, what the heck are you talking about? But the freakiest thing that was in that split-second frame was Sonic. His eyes were pitch black and bleeding with 2 glowing red dots staring right at me. And his smile stretched wider up to the edge of his face. I was rather disturbed about the image when I saw it, though I figured it was just a glitch and forgot about it. That ruined it for me. Just it must have been a glitch. I had a schizo delusion, but you know, it's probably just a glitch.
Yeah, it's just something else. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry. Literally, don't worry about it. When you tell VTubers don't worry about it, this is what we mean. After it cut to black, it stayed like that for about 10 seconds or so. And then, another weird thing happened. The save file select from Sonic the Hedgehog 3 popped up. And I was like, WTF? What's this doing in the first Sonic game? Anyway, then I noticed something off. The background was a dark cloudy sky of the bad Stardust Speedway level from Sonic CD, and there were only 3 save files. The music that was bro, this guy's just throwing everything in there. Every creepy music from Earthbound is just there. You know, all Nintendo creepy stuff just there, just from Nintendo for some weird reason, and not Sega. Background was the dark, cloudy sky of the Bad Stardust Speedway level from Sonic CD, and there were only 3 saves. The music was that creepy Caverns of Winter music from Earthbound, only it was extended and seemed to have been in reverse. And the image for the save file where you see a preview of the level you're on is just red static for all 3 saves. Hold on, I'm gonna see.
It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird that he kind of noticed that it was the Caverns of Winter in reverse.
Okay, but this man knew his friend's handwriting. He's like a ace detective, you know? So I trust him. But you're right. Like, how does he know? He just knows. Wait, hold on. This is my last paragraph, right?
Yeah.
What freaked me out more was the character select. It showed only Tails, Knuckles, and to my size, Dr. Robotnik? Oh my gosh. It was Dr. Robotnik, bros. Now I was sure something was up. I mean, how can you play as Robotnik in a classic Sonic game, for crying out loud?
Bro is a real fan.
Yeah, he knows. Up to you, homie. You got this.
That's when I realized that it wasn't a glitchy game. It was a hacked game. Yeah, it definitely looked hacked. It was really creepy, but as a smart gamer, I wasn't scared, or at least I tried not to be. I told myself that it was just a hacked game, and there's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, shaking off the creeped out feeling, I picked file 1 and chose Tails. And I selected and got started. The game froze for about 5 seconds, and I heard a creepy, pixelated laugh that sounded an awful lot like that Kefka guy from Final Fantasy before cutting to black.
He just throws in anything! Any reference, it's like any classic reference, I throw it in there. Kefka laugh. I can't do it. I forgot what the Kefka sound like. I goes or something. I'm not gonna mimic laughs. You know the Kefka laugh?
That was actually pretty good.
I don't know. It's ancient. You go. Okay.
Ancient history.
Yeah, that's Final Fantasy VI, bro.
The screen stayed blank for about 10 seconds or more. Then it showed the typical level title thing, except the simplistic shapes were all different shades of red. And the text showed only Hill Act 1. The screen faded in, and the level title vanished, revealing Tails in the Green Hill Zone from Sonic 1. The music was different though. It sounded like a peaceful melody in reverse. Anyway, I started playing and I had Tails started running like you would in any of the classic Sonic games. What was odd was that Tails was running along the level. There was nothing but flat ground and a few trees for 5 minutes. That was when the peaceful music started to lower down into slow, deep tones, very slowly, as I kept going.
Bro, I just realized that's a boring game, and I gotta play it.
Yeah, it sounds
I play for you guys. Oh no! I'll just be in the background, I promise. I won't get corrupted in, like, whatever Tommy.exe streams. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine?
Bro.
Oh, I'm going to save a lot of the a lot of the background knowledge. Do you know about the background knowledge of this like creepypasta?
Absolutely not.
Oh, don't? Oh my gosh! I'm gonna go over like a whole thing at the ending.
I know it's a classic, but and I've heard it before, but it's not like I know the lore.
It is a classic, but obviously. Alright, well, yeah, the Music Star game. Yeah, you went with that. I suddenly saw something, and I stopped to see what it was. It was one of those small animals lying dead on the ground, bleeding. That was when the music started to slow down. Tails had a shocked and saddened look on his face that I never saw him have before. Oh, excuse me. So I had him move along. He's like, I sent him anyways. Sorry, he gotta go die.
Keep moving, bro.
And he kept that worried look on his face. As he kept moving past, I saw more dead animals as Tails moved past them, looking more and more worried as the music lowers and he moves past more dead animals. And I was shocked to see how they all died. They looked like somebody had killed them in rather gruesome ways. A squirrel was hung on a tree with what appeared to be his entrails hanging out. A bunny had all 4 of his limbs torn off, and the duck had his eyes gouged out and his throat slit. I felt sick to my stomach when I saw this massacre, and apparently so did Tails. After a few seconds there were no more animals, and the music seemed to have stopped. I still kept Tails to continue. Tails, keep going. I'm sick to my stomach, but keep going. I'm
Tails,
morbidly curious.
You gotta see more.
We've got to see more.
For real.
After a minute passed, after a minute passed after the music stopped, Tails was running up a hill and then he stopped. It wasn't until I saw why. Sonic was there on the other side of the screen with his back against Tails with his eyes closed. Tails looked happy to see Sonic, but then his smile faltered. Obviously noticing that Sonic wasn't responding to him, if not acting as if he was totally oblivious of Tails' presence. Tails walked slowly towards Sonic, and I noticed that I wasn't even moving my keyboard to make him move. So this had to have been a cutscene. A dreaded cutscene. Skip the cutscene. Do a bro line. No, skip. So I'm gonna skip all the cutscenes. I'm like, bro line, no, not today.
The lore.
Okay, the lore. Suddenly, I began to have a growing feeling of dread as Tails walked closer to Sonic to get his attention, just like how I get my attention from my Oshi. Just like anybody else.
Just like anybody else.
I felt that Tails was in danger and something bad was going to happen. I heard faint static growing louder as Tails was but inches away from Sonic and stopped and stuck his hand out to touch him. That foreboding feeling in my gut was growing stronger, and I felt the urge to tell Tails to get away from Sonic as the static grew louder. Alright, that's my bit. Yeah.
Suddenly, in a split second, I saw Sonic's eyes open and they were black. And those red glowing dots, just like the title image, thought, though, there wasn't a smile. When that happened, the screen turned black and the static sound was off. It stayed black for about 7 seconds. And then white text appeared, forming a message saying, "Hello, do you want to play with me?" At this point, what? Yeah,
Like, do you want to play with him?
I kind of want to play with him for a bit.
I want to play with you. You got bloody hyper-realistic eyes. I'm gonna poke him.
Yeah, real.
Go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
At this point, I was creeped out. I didn't want to continue the game, but my curiosity got the better of me when I was taken to a different level, with the level title now saying Hide and Seek. This time, I was in the Angel Island level from Sonic 3, and it looked like everything was on fire. Tails looked as though he was scared out of his wits this time. He actually looked at me and made frantic gestures to me as if he wanted to get out of the area as was in as fast as possible. He started to get freaked out by this. I mean, Tails was actually breaking the fourth wall. Trying to tell me to get him out of there.
Okay, sorry about that. The fourth wall mention. Like, Tails, he's breaking the fourth wall, bro. He's trying to talk to me directly.
Bro, Tails is trying to talk to me.
Tails?
Yeah, bro.
Tails want to talk to me? Oh my gosh, that's such a fanboy.
As a Sonic fan, that's unreal.
Yeah, he got the Tails meet and greet, and you didn't. unlike us Sonic fans who are also plebs, because everybody's a Sonic fan according to the story. I'll never let that go. So I pressed down on the arrow key as hard as I could, and made him run as fast as I could. A pixelated version of that creepy theme when you meet Shadow at the Orgasm from Sonic Adventure 2 was playing as I made Tails trek through the desolate forest, trying to help him escape from whatever he was trying to run from. Suddenly, I heard that creepy laugh again. That awful Kefka laugh.
Bro can't let it go.
Yeah. Right after the 10 seconds have passed, as I helped Tails run through the forest, and then I started to see flashes of Sonic pop up everywhere on the screen, again with those black and red eyes. The music changed to that suspenseful drowning jingle, as I see Sonic, I kind of know what that one goes. The do thing. I don't know. I'm not good at these musics. I'll play them in the background so that like people understand what I mean. I don't sound like a schizo. I'm gonna redo that one. The music changed to that suspenseful drowning jingle, as I see Sonic behind Tails slowly gaining up on him, flying. Sonic wasn't running; he was actually flying. I was like the fanboyism there. The flying pose his sprite was making looked very similar to Metal Sonic's flying pose in Sonic CD, except it was just Sonic, and he had the black and red eyes again, only, and then you get to cut me off this time.
Yeah, the phrasing in this was kind of wild, but
yeah.
This time he had the most deranged looking grin on his face. He looked as though he was enjoying the torment he was giving the poor little fox as he gained up on him. Suddenly, when Tails tripped, another cutscene.
Skip,
sign.
click, skip.
Skip, please, please.
Extra skip.
The music stopped, and Sonic vanished. Tails laid there and almost cried for 15 seconds.
Bro, he did cry for 15 seconds.
Bro, literally.
In character, though, to be honest.
Of course, as Tails would. The scene was rather unsettling. Was upsetting, to which I kind of teared up myself. But then Sonic appeared right in front of me, in front of Tails, and Tails looked up in horror. Blood started to come down those blackened eyes, and Sonic, as blood started to come down those blackened eyes of Sonic's, as a grin slowly grew from his face as he looked down at the horrified fox. I could do nothing but watch.
He likes to watch.
He likes to watch, for real.
Pull up the chair. Oh, do you want to read next, or should I read next?
I'll read the next.
Oh, yeah. You gave like a short paragraph at the start, so I wanted to see if you wanted more.
Just in a split second, Sonic lunged at Tails right before the screen went black. There was a loud screeching noise that only lasted 5 seconds. The text returned, only this time it said, "You're too slow. Wanna try again?" And then that god-awful laugh came with it.
I can't help but think you're too slow. How is that scary? It's like you're too slow.
You're too slow.
It's like
Lamau.
it's like his taunt from like Smash Bros, bro. Literally, you're too slow. You want chili? You want chili dog with that?
Have you seen that image where it has Sonic and and he gets this? It looks like something out of like The Boys, where
Yeah.
they were like, it doesn't look like Amy. It looks like some other character, and he's like he gets them alone in this like office room, and then he like, and then the worker looks around, and Sonic's just like, do you want a chili dog? And it just has his wiener in a hot dog.
I don't know if I could. Do you think I'll be able to put that on screen? I'm gonna put that on the screen for our audience to view. It's gonna be in editing. I'm gonna crop it in case you. I know you said The Boys, and I know The Boys likes to show wiener. I don't know why. I don't know why every like modern show has to have like wiener in it.
True.
It's not even booba. They like cover booba, and then they're like, we just want wiener.
We just want peen.
So, God Awful Laugh was the last one, right?
Yeah.
Alright. I was so shocked by what had happened. Did Sonic murder Tails? No, he couldn't have. He and Tails are supposed to be best friends, right? Why did Sonic do that to him? I shook the shock off as that's like a tongue twister. I was brought back to the character select. The save file that had Tails was different. Tails was no longer in the box itself, but in the TV screen itself, which was flickering with that red static. Tails' expression scared me. His eyes were black and bleeding. His orange fur had gone black, and he had an expression of anguish on his face. Trying to ignore it, I picked Knuckles next.
Next.
The laugh came again, and the screen cut to black again, and stayed there for another 10 seconds. This time the level said, "You can't run." Alright, you could go to the next one.
I was really freaked out by now. I couldn't really tell if it was a glitch or a hack or some kind of sick, twisted joke. Or anything really. Despite my fear or of what happened next, I kept playing. Bros is like, I don't know.
Yeah, bro, don't worry, it's fine. It's just a hacked
fine.
game. I'm gonna do the same thing in a bit for this video. I'm gonna just play. I'm gonna see all the glitches and stuff. I'll be like, oh, it's just fine. I'm gonna keep playing.
I think this guy is like just demented.
Well, yeah,
Just
his
like,
name is Tom. Like
yeah,
somebody
his name
else.
is-
Like somebody else here. This story's about me. It's so over.
The next level looked much different. It had the ground of the scrap brain zone, but the sky background looked like the main menu. It had that dark reddish cloudy sky, but it had the music that creeped me out the most. It sounded like Gigas theme right after you beat Pokey in Earthbound.
Of course it would. Like,
Of course.
it has to have it has to be the Gigas theme with the fetus creature. Disgusting. You know the lore that like that actually is like a fetus creature that you fight because you go
It
back
is.
in time to fight him.
Yeah.
You have to kill him in the womb or something.
I also noticed that Knuckles looked afraid, just like Tails did, though not as much. Rather, he looked a little unnerved. He broke the fourth wall, just like Tails,
Did it again.
and looked as if he wasn't sure about going on. But I made him move anyway.
Anyways, wow. I think the author is the main antagonist of this story.
Yeah, he's just making people do what he does, what they don't want to do.
I don't want to do it. He's like, do it anyways.
He ran down the straight pathway in this dark level, and as he did, the screen started to flicker red static a couple times. And then the maddening laugh came back again. Then, before a few seconds of running, I noticed several blood stains on the metallic background. I felt a growing sense of fear again, thinking something horrible is going to happen to Knuckles. He looked nauseated, walking down this blood-stained road, but I still kept him going.
He's like,
Whoa.
keep going, Knuckles.
Knuckles, you must not stop.
I'm holding in your bye thoughts, by the way. I'll leave it to the audience imagination.
Oh, you bro.
Suddenly, as Knuckles ran, Sonic appeared right in front of him with those black and red eyes. Then, red static appeared again. When the static vanished, showing nothing but a black screen with text saying, "Found you." I was scared. I was now scared. Sonic found Knuckles already? What was going on? Anyway, red static came again. And then I was back to the level. Knuckles looked like he was panicking, and Sonic was nowhere to be found. And this time, that high-pitched squealing from the Silent Hill one's final boss was playing.
Oh, bro.
Bring out
Come
Silent
on.
Hill 1, you know? Wait, which boss? The Incubus or the god, quote unquote?
The god. That's
Well,
what I think.
actually,
That's what
I think she's supposed to be the mother of God. Like that's her, she's supposed to be a okay. We're going to tangent mode. Japanese horror games are about abortion. What do you think about it? But what about Gygus? I guess was the abortion. Was this some kind of boss battle with Sonic? I hope to God it wasn't, honestly. Alright, that's you.
Suddenly, Sonic appeared right behind Knuckles in what appeared to be a pixelated black smoke. I made Knuckles turn and then punch Sonic, but Sonic vanished in black pixelated smoke before I could even land a hit. That terrible laugh went off again. The second.
Oh.
Then Sonic appeared before Knuckles again, and then I made him punch again, and Sonic vanished again. Laughing, Knuckles was panicking even more, and I felt like I was going crazy. Sonic was practically playing with us. He was playing a sick, twisted little mind game with me and Knuckles. Another cutscene played. As Knuckles fell to his knees and clutched his head, sobbing, I felt his agony. Sonic was actually driving us both crazy.
No way, bro.
No way, to be honest.
I've gone insane! This is worse than, like, at least Lovecraft had, like, some kind of horrible abomination. This guy's just playing a video game and he's like, help me, it's his name! Help me, Enwa man! I'm going insane! Save the Enwa man!
And then, in a split second, Sonic lunged at Knuckles, and the screen went black with another distorted screeching noise that lasted for at least 3 seconds. Another
Oh, do you
text
want to?
appeared. So as many souls. Another text appeared. Another text message appeared. So many souls to play with, so little time. Would you agree? What the hell? Just what is going on? I started to think Sonic was actually trying to talk to me through the game, but I was too scared to think about that.
What? He was like, oh, he's definitely trying to talk to me through the game. I'm like, I can put that up right now. I can put it up right now, chat. I will put it up right now for you guys, okay? Look.
Yeah, is this real?
Chat, is it real? Hold on. I'm actually going to put something up.
Yeah.
Alright. Ooh, chat, I'm scaring you right now, chat. Is this real?
Yeah, I think this is real.
It's spooky. It's not in the right color for spooky, though. Hold on. It's in red now! Ooh, chat! Oh no!
It's real now.
Chat, is this real? Oh no, Tommy's breaking the fourth wall to talk to you through this video! I see you. I see you there in your chair right now, or on your phone. It's over. I'm gonna get you. You're too slow.
I see you on the toilet.
I see you on the toilet. And then Tommy stared at you with hyper-realistic, scary eyes. Ooh, he's gonna get
Dark
you.
eyes.
He's gonna get you.
People.
Oh yeah, wait. I actually do have pupils like that. He stared at you with dead eyes. Okay. That was a funny bit. I'll continue. You did the what the hell, right?
I did, but I was too scared to think about that.
I was brought back to the main menu, and this time, the second file box had Knuckles in the TV screen. His fur had darkened to a reddish gray. His dreadlocks were dripping with blood. And his eyes were black and bleeding too, and he had the look of sadness on his face. I began to think that those are the actual characters trapped in those TV screens on the save files. But I couldn't believe. I didn't want to believe. That's too funny. I'm gonna have to screen cap this again, just so you know what I'm gonna be getting at. So I shut off the game and took a break. I took a nap. Wish I hadn't, because I then began to have the most disturbing nightmare. I was in a pitch black darkness, and though I was under the light given off by a lamp that hung above my head, I could hear the cries of Knuckles and Tails nearby. They were saying stuff like, "Help us!" and "Why did you give us to him?" and "Run away before he gets you too." Advertisements.
Advertisements.
Their cries died out as I then heard Sonic laugh. His laugh, it sounded a lot like that distorted Kefka laugh.
You can't let it go.
You're a lot fun to play with, kid. Just like your friend Kyle, though he didn't last long. Whoa. Whoa. That's kinda... I didn't need to know that info, bro.
What do you mean by that?
Oh my gosh. You can continue, but wow, he didn't last long.
He didn't last long. He wasn't a pro gamer.
He wasn't a... Or he sped-run the game when you think about it. I think he was the better gamer than his friend.
I was scared and looking around for the source of the voice. Won't be long until I join him and all my other friends. ... I I saw him walking towards me, flickering in and out in several directions. You can't run, kid. You're in my world now, just like the others. And then he grabbed me, and I saw his bleeding black and red-eyed, grinning face. I woke up with a fright. After a couple of hours, I decided to continue playing the game. I don't know why, but I had to know. I had to figure out why this was happening. So I turned on the computer, turned on the game, and selected Robotnik next. I still thought this was wacky, playing as Robotnik? But anyway, the level title appeared again, and this time it said, which I found really freaky. This time, I was in some kind of hallway. I didn't really look like it was any of the classic Sonic games, though it had the pixelated style. The floor was shiny and checkered. The walls were all gray,
Dark grayish, yeah.
dark grayish purple,
What?
which animated candlelights and a few dark blood stains here and there. And there was a dark red curtain hanging above on top part of the screen. Every 12 seconds or so, the red curtain swayed very slowly. But whenever you're playing the game, you can barely see it move. The music was oddly pleasant. A piano played a rather sad yet peaceful song, but I knew better. This was the song that played in Hill Act 1. Only it wasn't in reverse. What?
Well, it wasn't in reverse this time. It was just straightforward, bro.
Yeah, it was straight.
Oh, yeah.
It was straight plagiarized.
Yeah, bro, copyright, get that, man. Robotnik didn't look entirely nervous like Tails and Knuckles did, but he did have a suspicious look on his face, as if he were just a bit paranoid, a little schizo, you know?
A little just,
a little whack. He was on the Zaza. Can people even still say that?
I don't know, but keep going.
He did a little running animation when I just left him standing, and he turns his head to the left, and then to the right at least twice, and then shrugs at me, as if he has no idea where he was or what was going on. Even though I was scared out of my mind about what was going to happen, I had Robotnik continue on. Keep going. He did his usual running animation. You know, when you beat him at the end of a classic Sonic game and you chase him? Actually, that's exactly what it is. As we continue going through the hallway, then I stopped at a long flight of stairs leading downward. Now I was nervous. Even Robotnik seemed unsure of himself, though I pressed onward. As I led Robotnik down the stairs, I noticed the walls have gotten darker and more reddish. The red torches are now an eerie blue. Then we landed onto another hallway. This one was longer than the last one, or at least felt like it. And then we headed down another flight of stairs down. This one was much longer and took at least one full minute. And then
1 minute.
And then I heard that hard laugh again. And then the music slowly faded away until it was quiet. As did the walls turn more dark red, and the torches were a black flame now. Ooh. That Kefka laugh.
That Kefka laugh.
You can continue, bro.
When Robotic landed onto the third hallway, I noticed he now looked really creeped out.
He must have read the story.
Though he tried to hide it. I couldn't blame him. I was scared too. Suddenly, Sonic popped right in front of Robotnik, the same way he did Knuckles, and then Red Static. The red static lasted for about 15 seconds,
But it's keeping track.
and then it showed me the most unpleasant image. The image showed a hyper realistic of Sonic standing in the darkness, where you could only see his face, where his head and torso faded into black. And when I say hyper realistic, I mean he really looked like he looked so real. You could actually see the lines in his blue fur, as if you could actually feel the fur if you touched the screen.
He looked just like the movie version, the first
Oh,
draft.
he looked the first draft. His face, oh god, he had the most terrifying smile I had ever seen. And that was saying something, considering that I saw that image at the start of the game.
Oh my gosh. You want me to continue from here?
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering. His eyes were wide and black, and once again crying blood, which also looked hyper realistic. And there were two small glowing red dots in those black eyes, staring right at me. As if staring into my mind, his grin was wide and demonic. It literally stretched to the sides of his face like a Cheshire cat, except Sonic had fangs. Wait, doesn't the Cheshire cat also have fangs? What's he talking about?
I don't know.
Very sharp fangs. Much like the werehog's teeth, except more vicious looking. Somewhat yellowish from the looks of it. And he had stains of blood and small bits of flesh on his lips. And fangs, as if he ate some animal. I stared at that gruesome image for a good 30 seconds. Bro, he took out like a stopwatch. He's like, yeah, I'm keeping track. Okay, 30 seconds is up. I'm writing down my story. He's so precise with the time, I don't understand.
He's really precise with it.
Never taking my eyes off it. I felt as if he was actually looking at me, smiling at me. That face. It took 10 seconds for it to etch itself into my brain for good. Then the screen flickered with red static again 3 times. And on the 3rd time I heard the Kefka laugh. Except this time it sounded distorted, demonic even. Oh my god. You're gonna love this. Okay, do you want to continue?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
It went to black. It went back to the image again, except this time it was the text again though. It was messed up. But it was pretty much one of those horrifying things I looked at since I had this game. I am God.
Oh my god, Sonic!
Sonic? What are you talking about?
What is he talking about? Man is like, I am Hell. Or I am Kira. Same energy.
It was when I read that message, while looking at Sonic, when it hit me, I realized right there and then, this Sonic was a monster. A pure evil, sadistic, all-powerful, nightmarish, demented monster. And all his victims, including Tails, Knuckles, Robotnik, and possibly Kyle, are just his little toys. And the game is the very gateway into his chaotic, nightmarish world and the very hell his victims are trapped in. Suddenly, in an actual split second, I screamed as Sonic lunged at the screen, screeching loudly, with his mouth wide open to an unnatural length, revealing nothing but a literally spiraling abyss of pure darkness before the red static came again, this time much louder and distorted, so loud that it hurt my ears. I yelled and grabbed my ears as the red static screeched as a good 7 seconds,
But,
and then it stopped and showed nothing but black screen.
oh my gosh. Advertisements. As I sat, as I sat there staring at the black screen, one last text came up. Ready for round 2, Tom? Oh, wow. That's your bye. I'm not ready for round 2. I think I need a breather before we continue, you know? It's a little...
Would this be like round 4? We already
Yeah,
have
it's already
Tails,
round 4.
Knuckles.
Wow. Well, I'm kind of a horror bro. I'm kind of woozy when you think about it. Round 4 already with Sonic.EXE. I'm self-inserting, you gotta stop me! Okay, we're good. The Kepco laugh. You can't. Now sounded more clear, as if Sonic was right behind me. Played again 3 times as I looked at that text in shock and confusion. Then, I got booted back to the main menu, and this time the third save file had the TV image of Robotnik in the same tormented state as Tails and Knuckles. Robotnik's skin turned a dull gray, his mustache drooped and had blackened, his glasses broke, and blood was coming from them, and he had a mere dead-like expression on his face. I looked at Tails, Knuckles, and Robotnik, and I cried a bit. I pitied them for the agony they're going through. They were there. Yeah, they were forever trapped within the game, forever tormented by that horrid hedgehog. Alliteration, nice. And always will be. So dramatic.
Then the computer shut itself off. I couldn't turn it back on no matter what I did. I just sat there for maybe 25 seconds, horrified by what just have happened. Sonic is the very embodiment of evil. He tortures people who plays his game in more ways than one. And then he got bored. He dragged you into the game, literally drags you to hell, where he can play with you always as his toy.
No way, bro. Okay, I can't get the game out of my computer. I think it's stuck in there, but at least I managed to turn it back on now. After I sat there 25 seconds, I heard a voice right behind me, like a whisper. Tried to keep this interesting for me, Tom. I turned around to see where the voice came from, and what I saw made me scream. Sitting on my bed, staring right at me, was a Sonic plushie with the bloodstains under its eyes. Oh no! Sonic got me.
No, he got free merch though.
Yeah, free merch, free. And then he's gonna give it to Mario _en.
Bro, imagine like you play a game and like a free game that
Yeah.
your friend Kyle sent you, and then all of a sudden you get like a free plush.
Free merch, yeah. Think
Bro,
about
this
it.
is like a win-win.
Good deal.
Bro, this is like legit.
So what do you think of the story? I want to hear your honest opinion.
Honest opinion, besides the Kef collab, I'd give it a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10, really?
Yeah, it was, besides the, referencing other games, and other than
I
that,
referenced way too many other games for me to like it.
yeah, because he kept mentioning other screeches, and for me, someone who doesn't play games, I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah, this man doesn't get it, okay? He doesn't play video games.
So I'm using my imagination at this point. But other than that, he played a game. All the other characters got enslaved and
Yeah, that did happen.
became tortured into their world by this demonic hedgehog, this horrid hedgehog. But other than that, it's a story for its time. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, for its time, definitely. The problem is, I'm an experienced creepypasta reader. I've read way too much creepypasta, so I know how tropey this gets. Like the description of like hyper realistic blood and something in a video game bleeding, right? Like, how familiar
Yeah.
with creepypasta are you?
Not at all.
Oh, this is really good. This is like a fresh perspective because you're not used to the tropes of creepypasta. So, I'll explain the background lore. There is a remake of this story because the author, right? He he set this up as an actual like head point to like his art and his series. He has like a whole thing where he like larps that it's like an actual like cult and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So he didn't he can't this story was very popular when it came out. Okay, I'll tell you that much. Because it's one of the ones that started like all the tropes about like the hyper realistic blood. It only became like people only mocked it in retrospect, right? Once it became run of the mill, and so he remade the story. And to be fair, I think the remake is also kind of goofy. He didn't really improve as a writer. Let's just say that. We could read it.
You telling me that everyone's not a Sonic fan?
Yeah, that's the problem with the story, is he reiterated that point way too much. Like, he was like, oh, I'm a huge Sonic fan. Oh, but I know this because I'm a big Sonic fan. I'm like, yeah, you told me at the start of the story. You told me at the very first sentence, bro. I'd give it, at the time, it was probably like a 6 out of 10, honestly. I'm going by your initial thing.
But now?
Now it's like a 3 out of 10. It's way too... It's too, like, I could throw it... Like, I could replace it with literally any other, like, video game creepypasta of its caliber. The creepypasta writers have been getting better. I'll tell you that much, because they look like this old thing. I think this author might have actually improved with his newer stuff. It's just that he went with, like, a different angle. I can't remember the remaster too well. But for this one, yeah, I rate it lower. But I'm glad to hear that you're like, yeah, this is good for its time, and I enjoyed it, and that's good to hear. Actually, this series would be really nice with like a fresh perspective on board.
Yeah, because like, to be fair, like, when did this come out? Like 2000. What?
Yeah, it's like ancient. Hold on, when did Sonic.EXE come out? Oh yeah, I'm gonna pull it up. Sonic.EXE creepypasta release. I want to know the release date. Alright, it came out in 2011.
Yeah, like before 2012. This is like really in the early stages of like what the internet came to be. So I can't really like knock it off too much, because back then this would be something I would like read and be like, oh yeah, it's different, and like, oh, it's goofy, but in a way that you're like endeared by it.
Yeah, that's a good thing about it.
Yeah, but to be fair, like the writing style is not to par. It's really just harping back on the same things over and over again. You're like, oh, Earthbound or Kafka, and
Yeah,
you're
you
like,
didn't like the references to other games. I know that much. I don't like it too.
yeah,
Like, even though I know the references, it's kind of like the Marvel slop where you're like, oh my, or like millennial slop. Let's just call it millennial slop, which makes sense because depending on like when it came out, right? It's millennial slop. It's like, oh my gosh, look at that reference to a completely different game. Oh my gosh, I'm soy pointing. It'd be good if he didn't rely too much on that.
yeah. So it's fine, I suppose. Could be written better. It could be, written in a different structure. It didn't have to be so self-aware on what it's saying or what it's doing about what's going on. Or but the fact that you end up with a Sonic plush with bloodstains under its eyes, I don't know, it's a win-win for me.
Pretty epic, but there is a follow-up. Like, there's a part 2 to this.
Well, yeah, I can imagine there's a lot of follow-ups after this,
Yeah,
but
there's part two, then there's a remake of the original because he okay, you know what troll pasta is, right?
no.
So creepy pastas that are deemed troll pastas by like admins are put into the troll pasta wiki because it's like, oh well, they made a really bad story, so we're just gonna put it in troll pasta. Sometimes they're like genuinely a good like they're genuinely trying their best and it's just put into troll pasta. The creator of Sonic.EXE, he's like, yeah, my old work is actually like a troll. It's not that good. He kind of like disowned his own work, but he should keep the original story because it's kind of like a classic or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
It's like Squidward's Suicide. You kind of just gotta keep it there up there. It like belongs in creepy pasta. I'll tell you that much. It doesn't belong in troll pasta, even though technically it could be a troll pasta. Although the actual troll pastas are really funny. There's a troll pasta based on Avatar: The Last Airbender, based on Sonic.exe. It's so funny. Like that one I do like. It gets a little yabai though.
Chat, what do you think? What do you think this old creepypasta lands at? Is it troll from 0 to 10? What do you rate it as?
Yeah, please leave it in the comment section below your thoughts on the story. Unironically, if you guys want to read that, I'll go through them, right? If you guys have info about the author, what he's currently doing, because I know he still does, like, he got, like, a whole fandom. Also, I don't know if he's a huge furry, that might be another thing, too.
Well,
could be a thing.
now we're pulling strands at this point.
Yeah, I don't want to disrespect the author too much. I know that they were kind of a controversial figure, but he does have, like, a fan base. So, whatever. I'll keep that in, by the way, because it's very important that people know who the authors are, right?
Yeah.
If I'm doing libel right now, right? Please let me know. Well, not libel. It'd be slander, right?
Slander at that point.
Allegedly. Well, he didn't commit any crime. Allegedly, he didn't commit any crime, so it's okay.
Not that I know of.
Not that I know of. Unless he like actually started a Sonic.exe cult and started like kidnapping people and delivering plushies in their room, then that's it. If so, deliver my Sonic.exe plushie. I need it right now. I'm gonna go to off high and I gotta give it to some Chuba. I'm gonna give it to my wife. I'm gonna be like, here's my Sonic.exe plushie. Think about it.
Real.
Yeah. She'll be like, what the heck is this? How do you play Sonic?
Yeah, they would love a Sonic plushie with smiling with blood stain under its eyes.
Otsu creepypasta reading. And thanks for doing this. I was looking forward to it. I was like telling them every day in chat. I was like, I'm gonna do this. This is gonna be amazing. And it was.
Right. Well, I'm glad you had me on, and I'm glad I was able to be a part of this.
I'll send you the raw footage as well, just so that you know how it sounds.
Alright, no problem.
Alright. Otsu creepypasta reading. That's gonna be a new segment. Well, boy, mwah.